Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm Misha Grimes and welcome back to a brand new video. I kind of clash with my background because I'm in like a very dark coloured outfit and my background is pink as per usual. But anyway, hi, I'm Misha Grimes and welcome to my YouTube channel. I feel like I felt so, this sounds really odd, just hear me out. I feel like I felt so like close and connected to my Instagram recently and everyone on Instagram and like you guys on Instagram and just like my stories. I feel like I've really, you know, just like connected with them. I know this all sounds very deep, but I don't feel like I've done that on my YouTube lately, so I felt like I needed to strip it back to the raw basics and just kind of answer some of your guys' questions. I feel like we haven't sat down and had a chat in quite a while, so I felt like it was the right thing to do. I also think now that we're like coming out of lockdown, it's so hard to know what to do like with YouTube and Instagram and everything like that, because, you know, we've all been locked inside for the past year, so no one's really known what they're doing. So now coming out of it, nobody knows what they're doing. So I thought I'd take it back to the basics, and I asked you guys over on Instagram for your questions. First one, how are you doing? I feel like not many people ask that. How is life? And I always love when someone asks that, like, how are you actually? I feel like that, just the word actually is such an important word, because, you know, like everyone goes like, oh, how are you? And you're like, I'm good, thanks. But whenever someone like says it to me, it depends who it is saying it. I'm normally like, if it's me and Chloe, if she goes, how are you? I'll actually tell her. Whereas if she replies back to me and says, yeah, I'm good, I'm like, tell me more. I need more info. So yeah, I'm at like a weird in between. I'm really excited about like the fact the world's opening back up, and living in London, it's also like new and exciting, but there's also like quite a lot of pressure and like to like always be busy. I know that's kind of like what I put on myself, but yeah, I'm like a like in between. I'm really loving exercise again, which makes me so happy, because like I just feel so much better in myself when I'm enjoying like what I'm doing. So I'm happy about that. I feel like I'm starting to get a handle on me and my food, and like, I don't know, like I feel like I'm actually making like improvement steps rather than just like sitting around in the same like problem, which is good. But there's still like some shit in my life that I can't control, and that's obviously what's got me a bit all over the place. But all in all, I wouldn't say like I'm the best I've ever been, but I'm not awful. How's that for an answer? I think I could see myself doing anything but YouTube. Like right now, because I love it so much, and because I feel like I just get to like learn about life with all of you guys, that I can't. But that doesn't mean I'm not like looking into future things. And this is something that I spoke about with Jake recently and my mum, and now my mum keeps on nagging me to like do the steps to start it, but because we've been in like lockdown, like there's not really been any reason. But like, I'm not going to say anything because like it might not happen, like it might not be a thing. It's kind of like what you know rather than who you know rather than what you know, and I don't know anyone, so we will see. But there is something that since I started YouTube, so many people have said to me like, you'd be perfect for this, like you should do this, and it's definitely something that I want to look into. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be leaving YouTube anytime soon. This is my baby, this is my world, this is my life. Do I miss my parents and my sister? Yeah, of course I do, and Alfie. I do think, because obviously like we can text and FaceTime, like I feel like I think I've seen them, kind of. Do you know what I mean? Like anyone that speaks to someone on FaceTime, I think because we don't normally have like 2-minute conversations on FaceTime, like they're like an hour. Obviously they're not every day an hour, because, you know, that wouldn't be able to be kept up. But yeah, like there's certain moments in the day where I'm just like, oh, I just really want to cuddle from my mum. And of course I get them, because everyone, you're human. But it's also like that kind of thing of, I know I needed to move out at some point, and although this has kind of been like the toughest time in the world to move out, I also feel like it's kind of forced me to grow a pair and look after myself, of which I'm still not doing the best job of. Still got my mum nagging me, being like, have you taken your medicine? And I'm like, oh, I haven't ordered it, I'm sorry. Allergy life. But yeah, it's made me realise how independent I am and how I don't rely on anybody else. Like I really don't. Obviously emotionally I do when like I'm going through stuff, but like I am so independent, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And I don't think I realised how independent I was, because when you live at home, like, you don't feel like you're that independent because you're like living under somebody else's roof. But like, it's made me realise that I've only just turned 22 and I could literally like completely look after myself, like do bills, like do taxes, do food, do like, I feel like I've realised I am a package. And I think I've got, although I emotionally haven't necessarily got my grip on life, because, you know, whoever does, but I feel like I've actually got like a grip on my life, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry, I'm such like a natterer. Do we miss the old house? I completely like had kind of forgotten about the house. Not that I ever do, but I think because I can't go back anyway, like I kind of don't think that, like I kind of think in my head my family is still living in that house because I'm not there, so I don't think it's really hit me. And I think because we've been in such a weird time, like it's not really been a normal process. So like obviously if I was to move out, like they would have still been there, or like if we would have sold the house, I would have still been in the house, and then we would have, do you know what I mean? Like it was such like a weird way round of doing everything that I feel like it hasn't really clocked in my brain that we don't live in that house anymore. But saying that, when I went to go get my eyelashes and my eyebrows done, because I actually don't have any mascara on or anything right now, I got an LVL lash lift by Debbie at Novu Lashes. She was so good. And then I got HD brows, love it. I went into the building and it was like an old-fashioned building, and it was Georgian, like my old house, which they are the most beautiful buildings. And obviously now moving to like a really modern apartment, like it's so different, like the stark difference. And I love it because like it has a bin chute, and you know, it has like a concierge. But then I went into the building and I was looking up at the ceiling, and obviously it has all like the beautiful like Georgian, Victorian, I'm not even sure, like art details, is that what you'd call it? Like, what is it called? I can't remember, everyone's like adding it to their houses now, but like the original of those. And I was like, oh my god, I miss this, like it's so beautiful. And then I went to the toilet and the window was half peeling off, and I remembered why old houses are beautiful but an effing nightmare and a money trap, because they break, fall apart. It's a nightmare, trust me. My parents know that far too well now. How do you motivate yourself to get jobs done? I actually spoke about this on my Instagram the other day, that I think because I know that so many people think that social media and YouTube and Instagram is such like an easy life, which in some ways it's the easiest job in the world because I love it, but it still has all the other shit that every job has, and it has some heightened shit, you know, being online, open for abuse 24/7. And I feel like because I know that people think I've like got it easy, like I feel like I have to prove that I do a lot. And I know that sounds so silly, but I feel like I have to prove that I'm like busy, and prove that, you know, I'm doing so much and things like that, just so that people don't like think less of me, which is so stupid, because like it doesn't matter, like it really doesn't matter. As long as I'm happy with what I'm doing, that's all that matters. So I feel like that kind of like forces me to be motivated, which is probably like good and bad. But like I also have those days, like I've been meaning to take parcels. I know this sounds so silly, I've been meaning to take parcels to the post office for like 3 days and I still haven't done it, and I've put off doing it by filming this video, and I need to go once I film this video. But like it's little things like that that I struggle with motivation. I don't struggle as much with motivation with like working out and things like that, because they make me feel good, so I know I'm gonna reap the rewards, whereas like taking the parcels to the post office just annoys me because it's such like a waste of time. But I know it's actually not. But yeah, I'm someone that feels like they always have to be productive, so doing like little bitty jobs, I feel like they're not productive enough, so I put them off and then end up with like millions of them. What TV show am I watching right now? Me and Jake are obsessed with How to Get Away with Murder. I saw it like spoken about loads online when it first came out, but we never really like watched it. And then I don't think we've had a series on for quite a while, but Jake turned around to me on Sunday and he was like, we need to start like a new series. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then I was like, what about How to Get Away with Murder? And now I think we're literally just at the end of the first series and we are obsessed. So many of you guys have said it's amazing, and apparently the last series, series 6, has the best episodes in it. So I'm so excited because it is freaking great. And like, I'm that person that loves to guess what's going to happen. I think it drives Jake up the wall because I'm always talking over the telly. Whoops, I do the same in films. He says I'm the worst person to watch a film with. But like, I like to guess what's gonna happen and I like to ask stupid questions even if he hasn't seen it before. So some would hate, some would love. How is Mama Grimes and Papa Grimes? They're going through a lot right now. I'm not gonna pretend, but yeah, take every day as it comes. I wish I had a car. Yes and no. I was thinking about when I do go home, you know, when we're allowed to in May, I was thinking like, oh, I can't wait to go in the car, because I haven't been in a car, or apart from an Uber, or like driven a car since December. God, nearly 5 months that I haven't driven a car in. I couldn't drive beforehand very well. No, I could, I'm joking. But I'm very intrigued to see how that's gonna go. But like, I am excited, and I think what I realised once everything started opening up is that I've gone from living in a town, it was like a big town, but I've gone from living in a town where I could walk to my hairdresser's, walk to my nail appointment, walk to Boots, walk to the supermarket, and like I turned around to Jake and I was like, oh shit, like I now have to travel to those places. Like I have to get the tube to go to a spin class. Like that's crazy to me, and I forget that, and then I'm late for everything at the moment because I just don't realise how far away everything is. And it's not even that it's that far, but like traffic and just like London, you know, it's busy. What contraception am I currently on? Bit random to throw in there, but I've never had like the pill or the coil or the, what else do they do? The implant. I've never had any of that, so I use condoms. Woohoo! Might seem silly, but do you not feel anxious going to places on your own? So you guys have probably noticed on my Instagram that, you know, Jake works a normal 9 to 5, so I go out a lot by myself and I go and do new things by myself. Like I went to my first Soul Cycle class by myself, and I think it's because I'm so independent that like I don't even think about it. Of course, I live in London. I get moments where I'm like, shit, I am by myself. But I just don't go anywhere that makes me feel uncomfortable, you know, like whenever I'm in like central, like I probably feel the most safe because it's like the busiest. And like I know I got my phone like robbed like basically outside our flat, but I actually do feel very safe around our flat, in our flat and everything like that. So I don't know, like I went and got acai by myself on Monday, and I went and sat on a bench, and like I wasn't like sat there thinking, oh, I wonder if people are staring at me thinking why she sat on a bench by herself eating acai. I was actually just like watching people and people watching, and I like being by myself. Like I enjoy my own company. Like I don't know, like I love people and I love being with people, but I also really, really enjoy my own company and my own time. And my own like thought space, and I think you just need to not think that anybody else is looking at you like why they're by themselves, because no one's gonna think that. I love how we are normalizing like date day to yourself and just like, you know, looking after yourself rather than always having to be with people, because you don't need to. And like the most important person in your life is yourself, so you need to look after you first. God, that was well preachy. How to stop yourself from binge eating. Okay, so I've never, like, I wouldn't say how I eat has ever been like binge eating, but I'd say that I have like a gorging personality, where like I would wait until I'm really hungry and then eat everything in sight, which I'm realising now isn't the way to do it. And I'm, as I said in my What I Eat in a Day video, I'm trying to slowly reduce my intermittent fasting, because I know that it then leads me to like kind of like toxic behaviour in my head, and I'm trying to recognise the toxic things that I do, or like account them to something. You can tell that therapy's working, guys. I'm trying to understand my own brain. So I think what I've realised is I need to not let myself get really, really hungry, because then I can't listen to my hunger cues then, because all I like read in my mind is starving, eat everything in sight. So that is my like tip. And like even me and Chloe were speaking about the fact that like if you fill yourself up on good foods, you don't then have the desire to do that. So yeah. Do any other YouTubers live in my building? No, they do not, as far as I'm aware. I did actually bump into a boyfriend of a girl who watches my videos. They literally live like a couple floors like below or above. I don't know, they live somewhere here, and I bumped into him, so small world. How do I learn self-love? I feel like you have nailed it. I haven't. I really haven't. It's definitely, every single day is a journey, and you know, some days you struggle and some days you thrive, and that's okay. But I think I'm just like recognizing that like this is all part of the process. Like everything is a process, and even with like me and foods and like trying to eat earlier, like I know that it's part of a process, and there is something great waiting for me at the end. And I think that's important. That didn't really answer the question, but I don't know, I'm getting a bit like dozy. Also, I've missed so many of my leg hairs, wow. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the post office now. I'm actually gonna do it. I pinky swear. But I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to me natter on about life. I don't know, like I love being so honest with you guys about like the things that I'm going through, or like I even spoke on my story today about my Apple Watch. I haven't worn my Apple Watch in 6 months. I didn't wear it whilst me and Jake were away, and from then I realised that it literally controlled my entire life, and I was always checking it, and I was like trying to like make like it was almost like I'd do any workout and leave it on the HIIT workout just because I knew it burned more calories, just because I needed that number to be. So yeah, I was very toxic with it. I don't even need to go into details. So I haven't worn it for 6 months, and now I've recharged it and I'm going to start wearing it again, but I'm going to have some ground rules for myself, and if I ever feel like those feelings again, which I know so many people do, I'm going to not wear it. So yeah, I think a fitness watch can be the most amazing thing and really motivating and get your body moving, but I also think that it can be very much a mind fuck because you're constantly looking at numbers. So yeah, there's a few little tips that everyone gave me about like you can turn the calorie count down to like 0, because like I just want to know how many steps I do, because I don't walk around the flat and I don't like walk around my gym holding my phone. So when I go for a walk, obviously I have my phone on me so it does my steps, but I'm just intrigued like when I'm around the flat like how much I'm walking and stuff like that, because I do want to up my steps. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna zip, and I will love you guys and leave you, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed just a chilled little chatty one, and let me know what you want to see, because I honestly don't know. I don't know. What do we think about me doing like an outfits video? Let me know, like what to wear to a pub garden. Like, shall I do that? I don't know. Let me know.